I want to just talk about this ICE. And, you know, there's also a lot of talk about the generals. I mean, John Kelly, the Department of Homeland Security, I mean, I've said this in passing a couple of times, but it bears repeating. The dramatic change in what's going on with ICE and immigration policy in this country. A couple of weeks ago, Ronald Reagan called in, talk a little bit about just the legal immigration policy as well, but had noted even, I think, several months ago that there was a distinct policy change amongst ICE that basically criminalizes anybody who is in this country without documents. So it's not just going after people who have broken laws since they've been here. It's going after anybody. And of course, at ICE, these people are such that they would much rather go, you know, hunting for deer than to hunt for, I guess, a lion at close range. So this story out of the Hartford Courant, an undocumented immigrant from West Haven was arrested by ICE agents in Connecticut after the man's 9-year-old son was used as bait. So here's the story. There was this guy, Espinoza. He's 31 years old. He's from Guatemala. He alone, I think, attempted to enter the U.S. in 2009. He was caught at the border, returned to Guatemala. A year later, or later that year, I should say, managed to get into the U.S. with his wife. Espinoza has been working as a mason and living in West Haven. He and his wife now have 3 young children who are born in this country and U.S. citizens. God, man, this is the problem with Masons in this country. Well documented. Oh, maybe not that kind of Mason. His 9-year-old son, who is a 4th child, who was not born in the country, is also undocumented. He was picked up about a year ago attempting to enter the U.S. unaccompanied. 9-year-old from Guatemala, trying to find his family. At that time, ICE officials turned the boy over to his father in Connecticut. Espinoza promised to bring the child to any scheduled immigration hearings and to cooperate with requests from ICE officials. This is the way it used to be, right? Where you would hear this, they were protected under DAPA, and they just simply, guys like Espinoza, who are here, never breaking a single law in this country. He had at the time a civil infraction, which was entering the country without documentation. Never committing a criminal act. Was allowed to bring his 9-year-old kid in there. He's got 3 kids who are U.S. citizens. Espinoza was requested to come to ICE offices in Hartford to sign some papers for his son, was immediately arrested when he did so and transferred to detention in Massachusetts. He was fleeing persecution in Guatemala and will face imminent danger, according to him, if forced to return there. It's just stunning. And John Kelly presided over all of this. Last month, there were almost 1,700 refugees leaving this country in a refugee camp in Quebec. 1,700. Super gross, man. Super gross. Yep. New York State is already trying to ban ICE from hovering around courthouses. this stuff really is, it's also incredibly dangerous because you're going to have a segment of the population that's going to be afraid to report crimes, to protect themselves, to protect others. It's going to be really, it's not just impractical. It's obviously, it's just incredibly morally repugnant. But all right, going to take a break, head into the fun half, where hopefully I got the less fun stories out of the way.
Those were, let's see, we basically covered that the planet is not going to be inhabitable pretty soon.
I'll tell you
the
something.
Trump administration is going to suppress the science of it, yes.
Here is the upside.
Mm-hmm.
Those people escaping this country for Canada,
Yep.
much better shape when global warming hits.
Without a doubt. Then we've discovered that both the left and sort of center of the Democratic Party are failing and ignoring 2018. And then ICE is using children as bait. And we have a situation in Quebec that could look like something in Lebanon or Jordan. That's great. Maybe we will have a slight uptick in the second half of the show.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos